All right. It is Sunday night. It is time for episode 5, which comes after episode 4. Now, that may seem obvious, but my goodness, after episode 4, one of the most discussed episodes we've ever done. So many people going, the cliffhanger, the storyline that's not resolved yet. Please, what's going to happen? We need resolution. I get it. And episode 5 will resolve a lot of these storylines. I promise you, not all of them, but most of them. And from what we've heard from some people who got early access to the episode and from some people on our team who've seen it because we've been working on it, this episode is one of, if not the best episodes or their favorite episodes we've ever done. In fact, Chris Durbin, one of our chosen insiders who's here tonight. Chris, where does episode 5 rank in the pantheon of chosen episodes?
Of all the finished episodes of The Chosen, it is number 1.
Number 1, according to Chris Durbin, chosen insider, who has been a big fan of the show all along, but we are now 2.5 seasons in, and he believes this episode you're about to watch is the number 1 episode of all time. So we'll see what you think. But if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, please let us know. Please just type something in the chat where you're from. If you got a question, you can ask it, or just type the number 1, something that activates the YouTube and Facebook algorithms that says something is happening. This is exciting. Hit that like button. Right now, there are tens of thousands of people watching, but not that many likes. So if you just don't mind hitting that like button or the subscribe button or the notification bell, making a comment, sharing it, letting your friend know, that really helps us out. So we appreciate that. Now, you might notice I'm wearing a Chosen hoodie just tonight. Well, it's actually going to be for the next few nights. So for the next 72 hours or so, while this live stream is up, we are going to give you 20% off every zip up against the current hoodie. So I'm wearing the Chosen zip-up hoodie. If you see on the back, can you see that? Just pulled my back. That is the Against the Current logo. And we've got a black one, and we've got the teal one. This is the back of the teal one. Teal, the color of life, the color of water. It's the Chosen kind of official color. It says Chosen on the front here. And then on the back, it's got the Against the Current. We now have sizes up to 5X. I know some of you have been asking for larger sizes. There's been a shortage of that around the world, but we finally got some. So now black and teal zip up hoodies, 20% off with discount code ATC. ATC, that stands for Against the Current. That's the name of these hoodies. And the reason that we call it that is because, as you see in the opening credits, those fish, the teal fish that go against the current, against where all the other gray fish are going, 13 of them actually, if you count Jesus and the 12 disciples, in case you couldn't figure that out. But right now, 20% off. So if you go to thechosengifts.com, I just go 2020, www.thechosengifts.com. If you go to thechosengifts.com, you order these hoodies, you'll get 20% off any of the teal or black hoodies. And then, of course, you can get anything else while you are there. So check that out. All right. So the Chosen app and the Angel Studios app. Those are the other places you can watch this show if you happen to be watching on YouTube or Facebook. If you're watching on the Chosen app or the Angel Studios app, congratulations, good for you. But if you do not have the Chosen app or the Angel Studios app, they are free and easy and allow you to watch all the episodes of the only place you can watch season 3. And that is actually the best place because it's got higher quality, better sound, all of that. So it also gives you additional Chosen content. If you go to the Chosen app, you're going to get the after show, which is coming up later tonight after the live stream. That's when we post the after show. We got a lot to talk about with that. It's it goes deeper into the episode. So make sure you check that out. All right. And also, if you do have the Chosen app, make sure that you have your notifications turned on. That allows us to keep you up to date on everything that's going on. We promise we won't spam you. But look up the Chosen app on Roku, Apple TV, Fire Stick, Android TV, your mobile device, and it's got the Matthew icon on it, and you can watch the show and get more exclusive content. All right, so I have a favor for you before we start episode 5. I know you're eager to get into episode 5, so am I, but this will help because this will, I think, inform how I want you to watch episode 5 and future episodes. So I got a note this week. Episode 4 was really hotly discussed. The vast majority of people absolutely loved it, and there was a lot of kind of artistic flair and a lot of deep storylines we were pursuing, but some people didn't, which is perfectly okay. But there's one comment that stood out to me, and it said, this entire episode was just weird for me. The tension between Eden and Simon, the weird tension between Mary and Tamar, just so much about this episode was weird, and I hate to say that. I usually watch it and feel good after. My spirit just feels unsettled after watching last night. That's a really interesting quote. Now, it doesn't bother me personally. Don't worry. I'm not offended or anything like that. Not everyone's going to like this show. And we do 56 episodes of television, and there's going to be some that you don't like. Totally get it. Doesn't bother me personally. But here's what I'd love to ask of you. It's just a favor. It's a two-part favor that when you watch these episodes, please just remember that this story is unfolding over the course of 56 episodes, 7 seasons, 8 episodes apiece. Let it unfold. Not every episode is going to resolve. Not every episode is going to give answers immediately. And so if you're watching this show episode by episode, and you analyze it on that perspective, and some episodes are more challenging than others, or darker than others, or sadder than others, well, that's going to happen. And we're not always going to give the answers and the redemption and the resolution immediately. I mean, just think about when we get to future seasons, and we get to the crucifixion season, and we get to the Holy Week season. There are going to be multiple times where there's going to go, a few episodes are going to go by where you're not going to have answers. You're not going to have resolution. You're certainly not going to have happiness. So this comment here where it says, I felt unsettled. That's actually, I think, a good thing. I mean, when you read the Bible, there are multiple chapters, multiple books that are very unsettling, very dark, very unsatisfying, that actually don't have great answers, don't have great resolutions. So this is going to happen over the course of this show. So I just ask that as you watch these episodes, that you let them unfold, and don't. Sometimes I see comments during the episodes or comments in the fan club. We have a fan club on Facebook that you'd love. You should check out. It's called the Chosen Fan Club. And people will sometimes ask questions where it's like, hey, you're going to get the answer. It's just not going to come right away. It'll come next episode. So maybe just let these episodes unfold and develop some of these storylines over time. And so I just ask that as you watch, sometimes things might confuse you, and it's okay to ask, but for the most part, just try to let the storyline unfold over the course of these 7 seasons. And maybe occasionally trust that we are going to give some of these answers. And if an answer is given and you still don't quite get it, that's fine. I'm not criticizing. I'm just asking that for the sake of the experience of watching the show, that you let it unfold over the course of multiple episodes. And then the second thing is, again, I don't mind. Nothing offends me if you don't like it. That's perfectly fine. We're doing over 50 hours of television. There's going to be lots of storylines and lots of moments that you don't like. Perfectly fine. What I do ask, though, is as you're watching the show, you don't go moment by moment, scene by scene, episode by episode, thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs, sideways, like saying, well, I like this line, but I didn't like this line. I like this episode, but I didn't like this episode. Or I like this moment more than this moment. Again, it's not because I personally care or am wounded if you don't like everything. But I do think it's important to, again, let this unfold. A lot of the shows that I watch, if you're sitting there just going, do I like this moment? Do I think this moment would have happened? Am I okay with this moment or not okay with this moment? It can really distract you from experiencing the story and experiencing the, art of it. When we're watching art, sometimes there's going to be things we disagree with, or sometimes something doesn't move us like it might move someone else. And it's important to recognize that there's going to be moments that you like that someone else doesn't. There's going to be moments that you don't like that someone else does. That's what art is. It's subjective to some extent, and it's oftentimes a story that unfolds over time. So again, I'm not saying this for my sake. I'm saying this for our sake, that as we experience this art together, as we experience this story together, maybe not necessarily have this kind of turning the approval dial up and down as we watch. Maybe just let it unfold over time. And if it gets to the point where the show is just not pleasing you enough and you're just not enjoying it and you're not entertained by it, then stop watching, genuinely. That's perfectly fine. But I just ask a favor. If you don't mind doing that for me, not for my sake, but for the sake of the art in the show, just watching the show, letting it unfold, maybe not analyzing it up or down, like or dislike, each moment by moment. All right, so we're going to get into episode 5. I have one more quote for you. I gave you a quote that was maybe a little negative. Here's one that's a little bit more positive that I think you might like. It's from a man named Ash, who said, my 9, 8, and 7-year-olds are understanding the Bible in a whole other way. Not cartoons, but real life like them. They want to binge Jesus, and they have questions that are making them grow in their faith. It's an exciting thing about this show and this experience is people of all ages literally asking more questions, reading the Bible more than ever, learning more than ever, and that's good, that's healthy. And thank you for your part in all of that. Now, do not leave after the episode. I'm going to answer some of your most commonly asked questions about the show in general. We've got a few that have been developing that I'm going to answer when we get done with this episode. I've got a conversation with Lada Silva, who's going to talk about episodes 4 and 5, some of the storylines with Eden that are really intense. We're going to talk to Lada Silva about that. She plays Eden. You're going to love what she has to say. And then I'm going to have an exclusive sneak peek of episode 5. Do not leave after the episode. Got a lot more coming for you. But here we are, episode 5, right now.
Woody?
I heard that.
That doesn't sound good.
It's never good in the third watch of the night. There's too much blood. The clot is absorbing it too fast.
I have nothing left to stop the flow.
Pull the sheets off the bed.
Stay with us. Stay with us.
Press down on her stomach. Contract her womb. There. That's it.
Did I lose my baby?
I'm here.
No. Oh.